Hey, everybody. Just wanted to get on here and let you guys know that this is going to be the only time we talk about this situation. This is very personal and private to our life, and we want to put this information out there, not for us, but to help other people who are going through the same thing, to let you know that you're not alone. So if you see us in life, please try not to pry into what is going on with our family.
Yeah, we've experienced a lot of trauma and anxiety because of what we're about to talk about happened to us. We're choosing to share our story, like Jerett said, to help others learn, and if they're going through something similar, to know that they're not alone. This is our experience to tell, and ours alone, and we're choosing to tell it this way. We all agreed this was the best way for our family to tell our story. Please, listeners, listen with a gentle and kind heart. This experience was definitely not easy for us, and it's not easy to tell and relive it.
All right. Are we ready?
Mm-hmm.
Nope, we're not ready. There it is.
There.
Oh, clock started. Welcome back to another episode of a deep dive into my life. I don't know what we're calling this series.
It's still Shattered Wisdom Podcast.
Yeah.
It's just the
Just a
Medberry saga.
yeah. Well, the K-Berry saga.
K-Berry
Yeah.
episode. What are we on? Episode 5 now?
5, yeah. So we are joined again by our lovely wives. Hello, ladies.
Hello.
Hi there. Thanks for having us.
Thanks for being here.
Yeah. So these ones are always, when we do regular podcasts, and then this one, it's always like because we don't draw questions, we don't shamelessly self-promote ourselves. Maybe we should. Maybe we should promote ourselves. So
Yeah.
that way, if people have questions, they can reach out to us so they know how to. Okay, Jack, shamelessly self-promote us.
So I am at Shattered Wisdom _ Jack.
Mm-hmm.
He is at Shattered Wisdom _ Jerett. It's at Shattered Wisdom Podcast on the Instagram.
And the wives, you don't need their information.
No.
No.
Andrew doesn't check her Instagram anyway. And
She
then
doesn't
YouTube.
text you back. She's not going to fucking write you back.
Really answers her phone. What's a DM?
Yeah, she doesn't text us and she likes us, so.
And then finally, just on YouTube. Check us out on YouTube. Like,
Yeah.
subscribe, tell your friends.
Yeah.
Leave some comments, questions, concerns.
Yeah, and if you have, especially about this segment, right? If you have questions, comments, concerns, if you know somebody who's going through something similar, if you need advice, because we're way into it. We're 11 and a half months into this whole thing. We're fucking deep in this thing. So
Yeah.
if you don't know what to expect, you're just getting into it. We are a great source because we've dealt with every fucking curveball these motherfuckers can throw at you.
Yeah, you have you've seen it all.
Yeah.
As we are going to start to find out
Yeah.
more and more. If you've been listening to the last 4, you've started to get a feel for what's going on. It just keeps going from there. It's wild.
Yeah, it gets a lot worse before it gets any better. So buckle up. It's a wild ride.
Yeah, and Kendra is here. She's going to help kind of narrate this because I think this one's going to be a lot more of JJ and Jerett kind of talking about both their sides
Yeah.
of the goings on. So,
Yeah.
Well, it's wild being part of the whole situation in general, but the last couple episodes, because if you're a listener and you really don't know what's coming, the last couple were interesting and you think that was wild, just get ready. It's getting ready to get a lot crazier. And every time you think it's wrapping up and things are going to finish in this saga, here to tell you that the ride ain't over.
Yeah. Next episode's the one where we get into something every time, right? Like,
It's absolutely crazy. So, JJ, where did we leave off in episode 4?
We left off. Now I'm drawing a blank.
I think Jerett had gone to Florida.
As you can tell, I'm shaking right now.
It's okay.
yeah.
This is definitely a traumatic situation. So, yeah, that's kind of where we left off. Jerett left the home, and Hunter and I were home by ourselves.
And there's a knock at your door.
Yes. So Hunter and we actually had gotten Subway for lunch, and then as we were eating Subway, there was a knock on the door, and I looked at our cameras, and I saw a lady standing with paperwork and a bunch of police officers. So I called my attorney, who we had hired, and I was like, I don't know what to do. Should I open the door? What am I supposed to do? And he said, they're probably here they're here for, because they probably have a warrant for your son to take him from you. And he said, I need you to open the door and remain calm. Don't say anything, because they will hold anything that you say against you. So just remain calm, and they will have to take your son, and and then we'll get it figured out. So I opened the door. I step outside. They asked to come in. I was like, I'm going to step outside. Hunter was actually still in the house. I obviously he didn't know what was going on. And the lady, she explained, she was showing me all the paperwork and explained basically exactly what the lawyer had said, that they had a warrant, and that they were asking for people's information to where Hunter could go, like family members or friends. So, and they said, okay, we'll try and get him an emergency placement with one of them by the end of the evening. So I was like, please, I was kind of asking, can we not do this? Obviously, pleading with them. And she's like, sorry, no, it's a warrant, court order, so. And so she handed me all the papers. She's like, Hunter needs to come with us now. So she handed me the papers, and I was trying to be as calm as I could, but I did.
This is my favorite part.
This is a good part. This is the only good part of the story.
I started walking back into the house, and I said that you guys are awful human beings. And
that's the equivalent for JJ of dropping
that's
the meanest thing you.
Mom.
Yeah, it's like JJ. That is the meanest thing she could say.
Yeah.
And I threw the papers inside the house. Obviously, I was pissed off, but I was trying to do what the lawyer told me to do, and obviously I was thinking of Hunter, because if I was freaking out, if he saw me freaking out and stuff, obviously that's going to be more traumatic for him, and I didn't want him to think that this was a scary thing. I just thought that it was I just wanted him to be okay, you're going with the people, and then you're going to go to either Oma's or the K's, So I went in and I got him, and I told Hunter, I said, I need you to come with me. I packed up his sandwich. I grabbed a little bag with some clothes, his phone charger, obviously, and stuff like that. And then I walked him outside, but I couldn't explain to him what was going on. It was too hard. I didn't know. I just didn't know how to explain it to him. How do you tell your child?
Well, how do you do it when you don't even know what's going on?
I didn't. So I told the lady, I said, you're going to explain it to him. And she said, and she was like, okay, and she said, you have to come with me for a little bit, and then you're going to, and then you'll probably go to your Oma's house or something like that. So, so Hunter obviously was very confused. He didn't know what was going on, but I was I just tried to remain as calm as possible, because I wanted him to feel calm,
Mm-hmm.
So I walk him down our long driveway, and I have him get in their little van, and, have him put a seatbelt on and do the whole mom thing, and then And then the lady's like, okay, do you want to say bye to him? And I was like, that's like the worst thing that you could tell me right now is to say bye to my child, So, so I gave him a hug and I told him I loved him and that, I was like, I'll see you in a little bit, And then I asked the police officers that were there, like, if they could stay and, like, talk to me after. So the lady got in the car and drove away, taking Hunter, and the police officers, I asked them, I said, like, what? I'm like, what's going on? Like, I don't understand. I don't, like, what, like, I don't get it, because I didn't understand why they were taking him. Like, why are they taking my son, from me? Like, he's home with me, he's safe. He's in his home, like, nothing's going on,
Well, and Jerett was in the home. He
Yeah.
wasn't there.
No, I wasn't there. No.
And you would inform them, I think, that Jerett wasn't living there too.
Yeah.
And keep in
he
mind,
wasn't.
this is 6 weeks after the initial, and there was no communication in between time.
Right.
Right? So this is kind of just like,
It's sudden.
yeah, it's just out of the blue. They're just like, all right, fuck it.
Well, and you had never called and said, I'm scared of my husband. He's threatening me or my child. And I know we've said this on other episodes, Jerett. And no, I'm sure the police, if they look at you, they're like, this is a big guy. Like,
Right.
he could. And I wouldn't want to be on your bad side. I'm
Right.
sure you could crush me with a hand.
Yeah, and
But
she's tiny.
yeah. But Jared's also like a teddy bear. Like, he would never hurt his wife or child. And so I understand they have to do their due diligence, but I think going back to this instance, like, JJ only called for welfare checks.
Right.
She had never called saying Jerett was hurting anybody, threatening anybody. So at this time, it's like, well, what did he actually do? Like, what? And then it really more was like, what did she do?
Right.
And like Jerett said, it had been 6 weeks. 6 weeks since he had had a mental health issue, and the doctor had confirmed that it was his medicine.
Yeah,
so
we had answers to questions.
Yeah, so
and they didn't do any follow-ups. They didn't do any investigation. They didn't ask anybody. They didn't ask any of our friends or family or neighbors. They didn't fucking talk to anybody.
Well, that ambulance didn't help, right? That when your cousin had the
yes.
episode.
So when my cousin had her seizure, 911 got called. They assumed that it was me hurting her, right? You can make an assumption like that, sure. But you have to then do your due diligence to make sure. When you come the next day and she's fine, she answers the door, no, nothing.
Mm-hmm.
Like, clearly she didn't leave in a fucking ambulance.
Right.
So, I mean, there's a lot of due diligence that they did not do. They just assumed. I mean, you could look at me and assume that I'm this fucking bad person who's going to hurt people, but
When this whole thing originally went down, we were trying to piece together what that looked like. So I'll let you guys go back
Right.
to telling, because there was a lot of speculation of like how we got to this place. And
Right.
here we are all these months later, and we still don't necessarily know.
yeah. So, and that was the initial, right? That was 6 weeks before they had come to take Hunter that all of this stuff happened, right? So the day that they showed up was 6 weeks prior to them actually coming to take him. So there was no follow-ups, no how are you, no nothing.
And there were no questions about, okay, well, why did you call 911 on this day? Why did you call, so if they wanted to know, about the incident about on that Tuesday, why I called 911 for medical, like, it should have been asked. It should
Well, and
have
if
been,
I'm on
hey,
somebody's fucking
you know.
watch list looking for 911 calls, you should probably, I don't know, not assume the worst.
Well, but you would also think that the house was flagged. Like,
I
hey,
think that it was flagged.
If
Yeah,
an
for sure.
ambulance, but you would think if an ambulance rolls here, a police officer needs to come with it and see what's going on.
Right.
And that cop would have gone, "Who's this lady
Right.
that had a seizure and stopped breathing?" And you'd be like, "It's my cousin."
Right.
And they'd go,
Yeah.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Completely unrelated.
Yeah.
Right.
Or they'd probably go, "Miss Medberry, can we talk to you to the side?" And they
Right.
would probably be like, "Hey, we know what's going on. Is everything okay?" You would think they would do that, and somebody
Something.
would note it in a report or something.
Yeah, but
You
then
would
nothing
think.
happened.
You would
Nothing
assume.
like that happened.
Yeah.
So
No, it was just it was that, and then fucking this
all of a sudden,
this shit started, and then nothing. We thought nothing of it, right? I mean, like, for 6 weeks we
Well,
didn't hear
not-
from anybody.
I mean, not that we didn't
Well, not
think
that we
anything,
didn't think anything of it, but
yeah,
like we didn't. They
Well,
made
you
their
didn't
initial.
think this was going to happen.
Right.
It was like, I mean, this wasn't even on anybody's radar. And frankly, the night that they took him, we all kind of got together and it was devastating, but we all had a little 20-second laugh of like, this is the biggest misunderstanding ever. He'll be home within a day. This is crazy. Like, I mean, it was so like almost like a series of unfortunate, like comical events. Like, how on earth did we get here?
Well, and then they stated that 911 call as a reason. And then to my mom, and my mom said, no.
Your mom was there.
Yeah. My mom said, no, that was for my niece. She had a seizure. And the line went dead. Boom. Just like that, the girl just fucking stopped talking, stopped making accusations, stopped everything. And then kind of told my mom. So we were trying to get Hunter placed, and I don't know where we're going to go in this, but we're trying to get Hunter placed. My brother's a felon. He can't be placed in a home with a felon.
Right.
So we're scrambling to get my brother out to talk to his PO. It's at this point nighttime. I mean, like it's after his PO's working hours, and she doesn't pick up the phone. She's a good PO for sure, but she doesn't give a fuck. Like
right, it's her 9 to 5.
It's her 9 to 5. Yeah. So we're scrambling and trying to get all this stuff done. And do you go into the fact that she turned her phone off while we're trying to?
Yeah, we need to. We were going to talk about that.
So let's go back. We cut JJ off. So you're talking to the cops after they take Hunter.
And they had just said, you know, like it'll all get worked out. We've seen, you know, people get pulled over, you know, for drunk driving. They take the children, obviously,
right?
And then, you know, and they're placed with like the grandparent that evening, you know, and then it gets all sorted out. Like, it's fine, you know, and like they were like, don't worry about it. You know, I'm sure he'll get with the grandparents. They work quickly, you know, stuff like that. So I was like, like.
Still devastating, but a little bit of relief.
Yeah, time I'm thinking, okay, there's a misunderstanding, and then we'll get it sorted out. You know, we had a court date on the paperwork that I threw. It showed that we had a court date on that Tuesday. I'm like, okay, it's just the weekend. He'll be with Jackie. No big deal. You know. So, you know, I got back into the house and it was empty, and it, obviously, like, and I was just like, I think I was just in shock because I didn't cry right away. I just was like, I just don't know what to do. Like, it was just the weirdest feeling, you know, when like you're never home by yourself, and then like you're home by yourself and you're like, what's going on, you know?
And you guys had a massive house.
Yeah.
So being alone in there would be like being in Batcave by yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and then I honestly, I can't remember 100%, but I believe I called you and told you.
Yeah.
And then I think you came, that's when you came, you ended up coming home, because we were like, we got to get this figured out.
So how did you take it when JJ called?
Oh, I was freaking out because JJ was freaking out. I wasn't in the best mental space, let's say. I was angry, right? I'm like, how the fuck are they doing this? It's out of spite. It's this, it's that. Because, can I talk about my phone call that I had? About when she called me and told me I needed to take services?
You spoke about that last episode.
Yeah, but so I can briefly touch on it. So when I got the phone call, it felt more spite, right? More, you're not doing what I'm telling you to do, right? And then it escalated. Boom, 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 boom. This is going to court. I mean, like in a 3-minute phone call, it went from, well, we don't know, to this is going to court.
But also, like, when she said this is going to court, both of us, like, because you had called me and told me that what she said, I don't think either of us thought that that's what court meant, is taking the child.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
like,
I'm thinking I'm going to get my day in court to explain.
Yeah.
Like, and
again, there's no charges. Like, it's not like anybody. That's what's like. Go to court for what? Yeah. Like, nobody's been charged with anything. Nobody's pressing charges. Nobody's alleging it. Like, so.
Yeah. But there's no report.
I watched enough Dateline to know that, like, if you go to court, it's for something, right? Like, somebody is pressing charges. Somebody's alleging something. Somebody, you know, the child's on the line, like, whatever it is. So to go to court, that makes no sense unless something is going down per se, right?
But again, like we said, there was no ticket. There was no charges. No. There was no report.
There was no allegation of domestic violence. There was nothing.
Nothing. So I was very like, I don't understand.
Right.
Help me understand this, because this is like going to court for a speeding ticket that you never got, right? Like, why? Why is this all happening? That none of this fucking makes sense. And questioning somebody who feels that they have too much power over you, right? It checks their authority, and they don't like that.
Right.
And I've been dealing with that since, I was in the military, right? Like, you don't question somebody who's telling you what to do. So, but I'm not in the military anymore. So I have that mentality like, I don't fucking work for you. I don't know you. I'm not going to do what you tell me just because you said I should do it.
Right.
Right. So I got questions. I've got questions. Why this? Why that? Why do you say these things? Why are you alleging these things? That didn't go over well.
Sure.
So now, hindsight, right? I should have played the game. When you're in a situation like this, sometimes it's better to play the game. Right? Like, you're going to do this. Okay, I'll do it.
Right, but playing the game like that, like they say if you get in a car accident, you never say I'm sorry because that's an admission of guilt.
Right.
So if you're playing along being like, okay, I'll do whatever you tell me to, they are almost going to take that like an admission of guilt.
Oh, 100%. And had I done that, I'm guessing that all this would have been over a long time ago.
I don't know.
Maybe. And again, it's hindsight, right? So how would you have known you've never been in the court system before.
No.
So that's the thing. You don't know.
I don't know.
And there's nobody to tell you, right? So we're asking questions of, at the time I didn't know it was just JJ's lawyer.
Yeah, we hired an attorney, and we thought that the attorney was like going to cover like the case.
Yeah, I thought that they were going to represent us as a family.
Sure.
That's not how these
No.
cases work.
So each person needs their own attorney. So it is. I have an attorney. Jerett has an attorney. Hunter has an attorney, but it's this court-appointed attorney or
That's
like
a joke we'll get
a
into in
county
another
attorney.
fucking
Yeah.
Like a
So-
public defender.
Yeah, but like
Yeah.
the worst kind.
Yeah. So, but anyway, so let's get back to that night
yeah.
when we were trying to get Hunter to Jackie's. We were all at Jackie's.
Right, so we're trying
Jerrica and Mike actually had come out.
Jerrica and Mike came out because they have some experience with, somebody's called CPS on them. Their daughter's autistic. Somebody thought that they were mistreating her or whatever, because outside looking in, she's having a tantrum. You don't know what's going on.
But she's nonverbal.
She's nonverbal. She's autistic. So somebody had opened a case against them. So they came out, knowing what we're going through, and we're trying to get a hold of Jeremy's PO. We're bouncing ideas back and forth off of this social worker, like, hey, can we do this? Can we do that? Can we this? Hey, my brother's going to leave right now. And it was like, no, because if his PO doesn't clear it, he's going to be back there. And
The thing is, his PO did clear it. She told him,
oh, yeah, she told him
like,
that's fine.
That's fine. You can leave the house. You have my permission, so Hunter can go to Jackie's.
Yeah.
But she didn't tell that to the social worker because we didn't know that we thought you just needed to get permission. Jeremy's leaving. We didn't know that it was like you have the PO has
to then call,
speak with the social worker.
So
then we were trying to get the placement with Jerrica and Mike.
Right. And she said, okay, that's fine, because it's in a different county. Nothing will pop up, all this shit. So Jerrica was like, hey, we had this prior thing happen. And she was like, that's not a problem. Don't worry about it. It's a different county. We can't flag that. We don't have access to their systems. Mm-hmm. Until she called back and said, no, you guys are flagged. You can't take Hunter. So, and this is one solution, and then an hour, and then a denial, and then another solution, and then an hour, and then a denial.
So we're late into the night.
Yes, this is probably about 10 o'clock, 9:30, 10 o'clock at night.
And at this point, did you know where he was?
He was still at, like, their facility.
Okay.
Yeah, with them. So,
Yeah,
so she informed your sister that she got denied, and then she turned her phone off.
And then she turned her phone off.
So
Your social worker.
Social worker turned her phone off.
So
You have my child.
Yeah. Hunter texted me and said, "Mom, they just told me I have to go to foster care." And
God, I remember this.
I like, how do you tell your child, like, this is like
And he has no idea any of this shit is going on.
Right, because
Nothing.
they informed you couldn't share any details of anything with him.
Right.
So Dad's working in San Diego.
Right.
Well, and Hunter, like, for those that have never met this family, Hunter is not an average 10-year-old either. Like, Hunter, I don't know how to describe this child if you've never met him, but
He's a 40-year-old man and a 10-year-old boy.
That's exactly the best way to describe him. So he's going to have 10-year-old questions, but he's also going to have 40-year-old questions.
Right.
I mean, he's not dumb. He is probably immediately like, his questions are going to be deep, right? Like, of just how on earth.
Yeah.
And I'm sure we'll talk about it in this episode and later episodes, like how this has affected Hunter.
Yeah.
You know, but like to just say, hey, buddy, you're going to go to foster care. It's okay. Like you're talking to a 5-year-old, like ain't going to fly. This is a very mature 10-year-old who's going to have a lot of questions, who has no clue what's going on. And then you tell his parents, by the way, you can't share anything about the case with him. You can't talk to him about it.
Yeah.
And sorry, I mean, he gets limited knowledge.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah, and he's got a million questions for us. What's going on? When can I come home? Why can't I come home?
Right.
Yeah.
He, at this point, had pretty much just assumed that he'd been kidnapped. I mean, like, that's kind of he's like, they came and took me.
With no explanation. Because he's a mature 10-year-old. Like, at least tell me why.
Yeah.
Yeah, he felt like he was kidnapped and he didn't understand, you know, and so so after Hunter told me, you know, about that, I was like, yeah, buddy, you know, but it's just temporary, you know, like, what do you say? You know, I'm like, just temporary. It's okay. You know, I'll be here. You can text me as much as you can, as you want, you know, and stuff like that. So,
well, and every fiber inside of me is like, fuck this. I'm gonna go get my kid. What are you gonna do?
Oh, how can you stop?
No, I'm like,
I'd have gone with you.
yeah. You want to see the guy you created? You know, you want to tell me that I'm this bad person? Let me show you, right? So everything in my body, I'm like telling her, like, fuck it, I'll just go get him. I have his phone location. We know where he is. I'll just go fucking get him. What are they gonna do? What are they gonna do to me? Like,
Probably arrest you for kidnapping,
100%,
right?
Yeah.
100%. You know, but in that moment, I didn't.
Every parent.
Yeah,
like,
I think
sure
that's
would feel.
100% any parent's
Yeah.
response.
Yeah,
Yes.
yeah. So I'm telling her, you know, I'm like, I'll just go get, like, fuck it, you know, and she's like, this is going to be temporary. We just need to fucking get through this.
Well, I remember us being frustrated because, like, we're right here. Why can't we have them?
Yeah.
Our house is what? A quarter of a mile from your house?
Yeah.
But I kept trying to be the devil's advocate going, I understand they have processes. How do they know we're not pedophiles? They have to go through like certain processes to make sure that, like, you know, we're a safe family. But like as a mother, I'm like, just give him to me for the night. Like, please God, like just don't make him go for even one night to a random home.
Well, I mean, and the funny thing is what you said is, you know, obviously they have to check, but like his experience
they didn't vet these
in
motherfuckers
foster
at all.
care, he ends up getting picked up at like 10:30ish from their facility, and by this guy, Hunter just called him the nice man, and. Actually, you know what? After I had spoken with Hunter about going to foster care, I called the facility. Like, I was like, I'm talking to someone.
Right.
So I got a hold of, like, the late-night social worker that was with Hunter. She explained, she's like, you know, he's going to this guy, you know, he's very nice. I've met him before, you know, and stuff like that. Like, he's very kind. And she like, reassured me. She made me feel a lot better. And I told her, I said, thank you so much for explaining things to me.
She's the only one. She's the only one who explained anything.
Everyone was just like, we're taking your kid. And that's it. And, you know, like, there was no explanation at all. Like, no one ever explained anything or said, okay, these are the next steps or anything like that. So, you know, I told her, thank you. I appreciate all of your help, you know, blah, 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 blah. And I was upset, obviously, but I still appreciated the fact that she explained. So, so Hunter gets picked up at like 10:30 or so, and then he's in the car picking up other children until 1 a.m. Okay, so this this guy had picked Hunter up. They're driving all around.
Wouldn't it make more
Inland
sense for
Empire.
them to have at the facility like I mean, this is a whole different thing, but like a take-in for the night, like so these poor children aren't driving around on night one.
So that's
Reminds me of like the Hunger Games. Like
Yeah.
we're all just gonna go pick up like
Yeah.
like what?
That's actually what I thought was going to happen. But then it was but they are not set up for that. So
Another problem with the system.
Right. And then we're coming up on a weekend too, so we're like
He's gonna be stuck for the
this
weekend.
is Thursday night.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, so he's driving around, and like, how do you sleep? Obviously, I told Hunter, I'm like, I'll stay up with you all night. Like,
Oh yeah.
I will not, whatever you need me to, I'll always be here. I had my
Right.
phone on loud. I was, I laid in bed. And I just was texting him pretty consistently, but his phone, even though he had a charger, his phone battery was really low. And so driving in the car for hours, like there's no charger. So there were points he's like, okay, I'm going to turn my phone off, like for a little bit, and then I'll turn it back on and I'll text you and let you know I'm okay. And I'm like, this poor kid, like he's 10 years old, thinking that he has to turn his phone off, like having to check in with him. It's just I can't even imagine like what was going on in his head. Like I know the things that he was saying to me, but like what he experienced, And so finally at about 1, he gets to the nice man's house, and there's other kids obviously, and he's texting me off and on, actually pretty consistently, and I think we text until like 4 a.m. Back and forth. He's obviously was able to charge his phone, and he had his own little bed, I guess. But he was saying how he didn't have food, and then he's like, oh, the guy has Cheez-Its, but like the Cheez-Its were moldy, or like the bowls were moldy. Something was moldy, and I'm like, you took my child away from this this nice home. And to like this place that like there's other kids that and he's scared, like dealing with moldy stuff, I just, it was like such an awful feeling, but I was like, okay, I felt, knowing that he was at that house, like not driving around, I was like, okay, he's inside of a home. And then he tells me, the nice man told us that I have to, me and the other kids have to get up and be at daycare at 6 a.m. And he's like, who goes to daycare? I'm 10. And I was
He's
like,
45. He's like, I can watch myself.
I watch all these motherfuckers for you.
Yeah, there you go.
So he tries, I was like, yeah, I know, buddy, I'm like, don't worry, we'll get this figured out. I just kept reassuring him, we'll get it figured out. We'll get it, So, and then he ends up falling asleep. I think I fell asleep. I think I slept for like an hour and then woke up because he had to get up at 5:30 to go to daycare. It was a lady's house, and he told me, there's a lot of kids here. I have to share, like, it's like not even like a love seat. It's like just a bigger chair, but he had to like share this chair with like another kid.
She wouldn't let him go in the bedrooms.
Yeah, she had multiple bedrooms, but none of the kids were allowed in the bedrooms. There were kids sleeping on the floor in the living room area. He was like trying to sleep kind of like on the chair, but with another kid. Like it was just like he's like,
We just found out she was smoking weed in the house too, because Hunter smelled weed for the first time, and he goes, "That's what that lady's house smells like."
Yeah, so I guess one of the kids was like, yeah, I've been in and out of foster care a lot, like he's obviously talking to the kids, and there was one point where I'll have to find out from Hunter exactly, but I don't know if it was a child or the lady, that said, oh, what, your parents don't want you?
Oh.
And he started crying, like bawling, and the lady, the daycare lady, she got like a tissue and like kind of threw it at him, and she said, you'll be fine, and walked outside. It's like this poor kid like just got like kidnapped in his view, And
And now people are telling him your parents don't want you.
yeah.
Like and we can't tell him what's going on because we're in risk of violating their fucking whatever they have that you can't talk about
Their
what's
rules.
going on.
Their gag order. or
Yeah.
whatever. Wow.
So, you know, I had just, and then she made him, after he got done crying, I guess she made him write like sentences like of things that he's grateful for, because apparently he has parents that don't want him. Like, so she made him write all these that he's grateful, things that he's grateful for. And then, you know, she started talking to him about religion and told him that his religion, he shouldn't believe that what he believes in, he needs to believe in her religion. And there was just, I mean...
She wouldn't make him food. She said,
She
you only
wouldn't make
eat
him
what you
food.
brought.
Yeah, and he didn't have food, but I guess like the nice man, he had brought popcorn for some of the kids, I guess, and the popcorn was burnt. And Hunter was like, you know, I had to eat burnt popcorn. But I'm like, you know, it's popcorn. At least
Right.
it's food. You know,
Right.
at least you got something in your stomach. But, and then he just, it was, I mean, I don't know if Hunter will ever want to talk about this, you know, but, I mean, if he ever wants to get on this podcast and talk about it, you know, it's his story to tell. This is just like things that he really told me, you know, that I went through. But and then there was a point we had gone to the doctor. You had a cardiologist appointment that day, and obviously your heart. We've been dealing with a lot, you know. So you were like, you need to go see your cardiologist, and so Hunter went into the bathroom at the house and FaceTimed us, and you know, we were talking and stuff like that, and then I think or maybe he called first. I don't remember how it all went down, but I know that we talked to him on the phone, and then all of a sudden the lady
Comes in the bathroom.
comes and
She comes in the bathroom and takes his phone. Who are you talking to?
My parents.
Yeah, what are you talking to them about?
and then she was like, are you going to tell him to like come pick you up and like
Yeah.
things like that.
And then she takes his fucking phone and turns it off.
She went through it.
Oh yeah, she
And
went through his
then
phone
she-
and then she turned it off.
Then she turned it off.
So
Which
you-
is a
you can't-
violation of privacy. And
Yeah.
also, you can't take somebody's phone.
Yeah.
That's, it's,
like false imprisonment or something.
false imprisonment.
Yeah. Yeah. So she did all this stuff to him, right? While she's telling him, you know, your religion's fake and all this shit and don't believe that. You're fucking wrong. He's fucking 10.
And they came over. I've never seen JJ like that. JJ's the most like, hey, whimsical. She was wound tight as, I can only imagine. Same. And then Jerett was a wreck. And I think that's when you were talking with the social worker and trying to figure out like what they were going to do with him and what the next steps were going to be.
Because we were like, put him here.
Yeah.
Our house is set up. It's ready. There's nothing on our records. We've
Yeah.
never had any interactions. Like, it's plug and play.
Well, and as strenuous as it was for us to get him placed, the places that he's talking about that he's at, I'm like, there's no fucking way those places are better than anything that I've fucking offered as a solution.
Yeah, an Airbnb would have been better.
Yeah.
A fucking Motel 6
Yeah.
would have been better. Hey, buddy, lock the door. Don't answer.
Yeah,
the phone.
don't come out for anybody.
We'll DoorDash you food 3
Yeah.
times a day,
Yeah.
you know?
Yeah, so what people don't understand is lawyers are expensive, right? Like, if we did not sell our house, I don't think we could have afforded all of the things that came with
Yeah.
all of it. Like, there's no fucking way.
Well, it's not just lawyers. It's and we'll get into it on later episodes,
Yeah.
but the aftermath of everything, we had to sell our house. Like, it wouldn't have,
Well, here's a good question. So you brought up earlier that all 3 of you had to have a lawyer. Did you know that going in?
No. So when we talked to JJ's lawyer, so JJ found a lawyer, best lawyer that she could find, top dollar. This motherfucker cost me a goddamn fortune. We both talked to him. And I was under the assumption that since we're both talking to you about what's going on, you're going to represent us. It wasn't until Yeah, it wasn't until after the first court date when I had a fucking public defender that I was like, this isn't going to work.
No.
Now I have to fucking get a lawyer. And then we asked if we could get Hunter a lawyer, and they said no. They said he can't be represented by anybody but the state. So that's a fucking joke in itself. But so then I had to go find myself a fucking lawyer because the the advice I got from my whatever private attorney or my public defender, yeah, was pretty much do what they say, don't cause any waves, admit to everything, give your guns up, just sell them or turn them in or take them to the police station. And that was the advice that I got. And I was like, you're not going to ask me any questions? You don't want to know what happened? Nothing?
Well, that's the thing is like being told that, it's like for what reason? Like why would we admit to anything that we didn't do?
Yeah.
You
Like,
can't. That's
what-
admitting to
yeah.
a crime you're not being charged
That's-
with.
Yeah.
that's
You talked
lying.
earlier about getting a speeding ticket. That's like a cop mailing me a speeding ticket and going, well, I know you're gonna, so we're just
Yeah.
going to preemptively give you,
Yeah.
you know, you were doing 75 and a 65. You look like the type of guy to do that.
Yeah.
So here,
Yeah, well, that's what it
and
is.
just pay the fine.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it'll be good.
Yeah.
Like-
You can point
Don't
on your
ask
record.
don't
Go
ask
to,
questions.
yeah, go to traffic court.
Don't
No, it's
question
just,
us.
what's
The
the problem?
thing is you're not supposed to lie in court. So us sitting there saying, yes, we admit to this or whatever, that would be a lie. Like, so, like,
You're going to perjure yourself?
yeah, like, I'm like, how is that?
Well, and that's one thing too about me is like, I'll if I did it, I did it, but I'm not going to cop to some shit that I'm like, well, if it'll make my life easier to just be this person that you say I am, then I'll just admit, like, no, get fucked.
Well, what happened to the judicial system where you are innocent until proven guilty?
It
There's
does
not
not
even been a
exist.
crime.
No.
Well-
The habeas corpus was written like you can't have a case unless if there's no body.
Right.
So there was no body, for lack of a better
Yeah.
term. There was.
It goes back to the beginning when I had said that, why did they take him from JJ when the calls were about Jerett? And if I recall correctly, it's because they said you were putting him, meaning Hunter, in a position of what they thought was an unsafe environment.
Yeah, it was like failure. My thing was failure to protect, which if you go back and re-listen to all the story, like our past episodes, I mean, I don't know. To me, I felt like I was pretty protective over Hunter.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
Yep.
there were a lot of precautions that I took I didn't even need to do the precautions, but I did them anyways, because that's just who I am, and that's what I felt was right at the time.
So you're being punished.
And now it feels like I was being punished for calling for help.
Yeah.
That's really.
Well, that's what it
yeah.
was, right? Like, it was the people that you reach out to for help are the ones who started this whole thing and lied about a bunch of stuff and made up their own fictitious things. And I didn't know that they had listened to this podcast until a couple of weeks ago when I got asked about our podcast.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So that'll come in a different story later, but that is going to be where a lot of this verbiage that they used against me, they heard it on the podcast.
Well, but you also can't make a generalized statement
No.
about something, express an opinion, and then have somebody claim that as fact in a court of law.
Right.
Like if I sit here and go, man, the sky is fucking purple. It's the craziest purple I've ever seen. I'm a purple sky guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
No one can come to me in environmental court and go, Jack made this absurd claim.
Yeah.
And he stands by it and it's fact.
Yeah.
No, it's just a random thing that I've said. Like,
Yeah. We're going to get into that in later episodes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we have a lot more to talk about in later episodes, but
It's the wildest thing that, and as soon as I say it in another episode, you guys can be like, really that? Yeah, but they 100% pulled some shit from the podcast and then said, no, this is how he fucking talks, and this
they
is
took it out of
yeah,
context.
Took it out of context.
well, I remember Kendra and I were sitting there and we were saying the same thing, like, well, just bring him here.
yeah,
And to us, it seemed simple, like, this is a good, stable home. Like
to us too.
Yeah.
just bring him here. So, like, is he still in the van in front of your house? Like, I'll to take the golf cart over and pick them up.
Right.
Yeah.
I'll show them all my ID, whatever they need. And we kept saying, like, why can't he just come to our house? And then why is this happening? We kept bouncing ideas off of each other, and it just made us more and more confused.
Us too. Like
Yeah.
I thought, okay, just put them. You know, we have a support system.
There were 5 neighbors around you. You could have gone
Yeah.
to any one of them.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I hate to say it, but this was just the beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
And I know we
mean,
keep saying that, but this is one story for the books. So
Well, we're 6 weeks in.
We're 6 weeks into the first initial. We are 2 days into my 11 and a half month fucking journey. So this isn't ending anytime soon. The stories are gonna fucking. I could write a book.
no, you
which
really could.
I
It
probably
gets
should,
so
but-
much crazier.
Just transcribe this podcast.
Yeah. So it's
But it's
a
going to be
lot.
held against you in a court of law.
It is 100%.
Yeah.
No, they're gonna come back here and soundbite this and fucking see. I told
What
you
would they
he
say
was.
about me, Kendra? We better not do anything.
So you're a
bad
purple
ever.
sky lover.
the
I
bald
knew
guy.
it. I knew it.
He's delusional.
He's on drugs. He thinks the sky's purple.
He's a flat earther. He thinks the sky's purple.
Yeah. So I mean, it's just it was obviously, if you couldn't tell from my voice at the very beginning, like it was definitely something that's a very traumatic experience, and I would not wish it on any parent. I mean, even my worst enemy, I wish that I wouldn't want them to go through something like this.
And this is
it feels
just-
like your heart's being pulled out, like you're being torn apart. It's not a good feeling at all.
This is just our point of view too. Hunter's point of view would break your fucking heart.
Oh my God.
Like if he came in here and told you like what he experienced.
I don't want to be part of that. I'll cry.
No.
No.
Yeah, it's I mean, we'll get into it eventually, but he definitely has his moments where he'll stop and talk to me, and it's like, I mean, we're still dealing with.
Right. Oh, we're not done. This whole
Yeah.
thing is still ongoing.
No,
We've
like I
noticed
said,
a change in him. Kendra and I have noticed a change in him and talked about it. I'm sure we'll talk about the lasting effects of what it has had on him.
yeah. Oh,
It
yeah.
has changed him.
Well, when he smelled the weed, he had smelled that, and he has a panic attack. Like, and then the cherry smell. Like I had cherry smell in my truck, the scent, and he's like, "This reminds me of the nice man's house and what happened." So I mean, like he's
No,
got.
I don't think it was his house. I think it was her house. I think she was using
Oh
the
yeah,
cherry
she was using the cherry to hide the weed smell.
hide the weed smell.
So that like he goes into full blown like little mini panic attacks, man. Like, and it's terrible, right? Because he's been dealing with this for so long, and
Well, and he still doesn't know the details of the case.
no.
we still can't tell him.
No. Yeah, we're told we have to. It's considered, what is it called? Adultifying your children. That's what they teach you in certain things.
We'll stack him up against any other 10-year-old. He's adultified already.
yeah.
He did that all by his lonesome. He doesn't need help.
Yeah.
He adultified Charlie years ago
Yeah,
by teaching her things that, like, when they were like 3, Charlie'd be like, "Let's go play." Like, no, we need to talk about geology.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, so, I mean, it's kind of, I guess we can kind of leave off there. I think that's where we were planning on ending this episode.
yeah, we can circle back next week on what happened after foster care.
Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely,
it's been a fucking lot.
yeah, it's definitely a lot. So, okay, I don't know what else to say.
If you have any
It's,
questions, please reach out.
Yeah, and if you're dealing with something like this and you need help, reach out to us. There's a lot of resources that we have recently discovered, and there's a whole podcast about it, right?
yeah, there's a lot. I've done a lot of research and stuff, so.
So reach out to us if you're going through this or you know somebody who's going through this. It's not as rare as you think.
Which is sad.
We'll get into statistics in a later episode, but it's a lot.
I have statistics, and it's scary.
Dang.
It's fucking terrifying, and we'll get into it. But the justification behind the reasoning that they use is staggering, and it's fucking upsetting. And it's, you got to remember, it's a business, it's a corporation.
Right.
Everything's a corporation. You go to the dentist, they want to pull your tooth, they want to give you fillings, they want to clean your teeth. Here's your $4,000 bill. Everything's a fucking business. they are no different.
Well, the government's the biggest corporation in the world.
Yeah, and when you take government funding, you're part of that cycle. So I think we will end this one and give you guys something to think about on the next one, because this is day 2 of 11 months. So there's a lot more to come. There's a lot more that we're gonna inform you guys on it and put out there, and it's a fucking crazy story, but it's true. I like if you could make this into a movie and call it fiction or whatever, and if it wasn't happening to me, I'd be like, nah, are you sure?
Yeah.
Like all of that? Yes. Fucking everything that I'm going to tell you is fucking has happened.
Yeah.
So I think with that, we'll end this one.
Okay.
Give JJ a little breather.
Yeah.
She looks like she needs to take a nap.
Yeah, JJ's, this one was a rough one, and they don't get any easier from here.
Yeah.
So, all right. On that note, I've been Jerett.
I've been JJ.
I've been Kendra.
And I've been Jack.
And this is Shadow Wisdom Podcast. Thank you guys for coming.